Hello and welcome to PalaceFanTV for our Chelsea preview video. I'm Daly down here at Ball Street Studios. Now, I would normally be joined by Younes from 100% Chelsea, but he can't be with us. But by the power of video link up, he is going to join us for this video and answer some questions. So, my first question to Younes is, the way Chelsea have started the season, not brilliantly, and the way Man City have started the season very well, does this make this game against Palace already a must-win game for Chelsea?
Right. In terms of us playing against Manchester City, that was a disastrous game. We all know that. It was an absolute horrible experience, especially for me who was there. But I think it's a blessing in disguise. You know, we've got battered very early on. And after 3 games now, it's safe to say that everything's still completely open, but we've already been given a lesson. So I think now, with the arrival of Pedro, I think if we didn't lose 3-0, we wouldn't have even gone into the transfer market. So I think it's slightly a blessing in disguise. For us to get smashed earlier on is a big wake-up call, and it's come at the right time, at the very beginning of the year. We still have 35 more games to go, you know, and why not take advantage of that after getting smashed very early on? So yes, it did affect us, and Palace is a must-win, I reckon, just to get us into the stride of winning again. You know, we managed to win our last game courtesy of Pedro, because I do mention him, and everyone else, and I think now is the time where we're starting to get our proper fitness back to 100%. Our preparation is pretty much done now. We're starting to get back into the rhythm, and that's the most important thing. So yes, Crystal Palace, it was a very important game last year to win us the title, and it's a very important game this year to make sure that we get back into the stride of defending our title. So yes, must win against Palace.
Now, question number 2, John Terry is suspended, which is bad news for Palace given his goal-scoring record for us in the past. Will it be Kurt Zouma that lines up instead of him? And do you think Zouma is a long-term replacement for Terry?
You see, Terry getting suspended is it's not easy. You know, that does affect us. It really does affect us, and it's clear why. He's our captain. He's our leader. He's been our captain for almost more than a decade now, and it's a very, very important and vital part of the team. All of his experience. However, we do have Zouma, who I feel is ready, more than ready, to step up to the plate, for sure. We've obviously been in the market for John Stones. Now, you ask about a long-term replacement for Terry. That's more looking towards John Stones at the moment. But that's not to say that Zouma doesn't have what it takes. Because as far as I'm concerned, once John Terry finishes, and even once Gary Cahill finishes, I really want Stones and Zouma to be our next pairing for the next decade. And yes, that does answer your question in terms of Zouma. He is ready to come up and step up to the plate and take over. But to throw away John Terry right now, it's not the time. It's not the time. Last year, he played every single minute of every single game in the Premier League at his age, and that's unbelievable. And he did fantastic. He still has a bit left in him. And until when that begins to run out is when we can start discussing him to step aside. But for now, he's still our captain. He's still our leader. We still need him in defence. And it's not the right time. But is Zouma ready? Yes.
Question number 3, now the transfer window shuts very soon. And the biggest arrival at Chelsea has been Pedro, who started off very well on his debut against West Brom. Are you pleased with his arrival, and do you expect to see any other new faces for Chelsea before the window shuts?
You know, the transfer windows have been a very, very baffling time for us Chelsea fans, because the whole transfer window, we were just waiting for something to happen, and Mourinho, the board, were adamant that we weren't going into the transfer market. We're going to settle with what we have, you know, because this team are champions and we've got to trust them. And we began to really think, okay, we're just going to have to stick with this. But as I said, getting battered by City 3-0, you know, is a blessing in disguise. And it woke the board up. It woke Mourinho up, and it made sure Mourinho just went to the board and said, listen, we have to spend. And the arrival of Pedro, what a bargain. £21 million. What an absolute bargain. To sneak it under the noses of Man United, a quality player, a talented player who knows what it's like to be a winner. And he's come with this mental attitude and positivity, and he's completely just, you know, shocked everyone at what he's done. You know, last game, he ran the show. And hopefully this week against Palace, sorry, Palace fans, hopefully he runs the show again, you know. But yes, it's been a very, very important time for the fact that the transfer window is still open, and we've openly gone in for Stones. We've openly gone in for Pogba. It's just opened so many doors. And do I expect any more signings? I should say I would. Everton just do not want to let go of Stones, and that's become a massive, massive talking point. They just don't want him to go. But I think we will get him. Pogba is a lot more harder, but I've got something sneaky up my sleeve. I'm just feeling that we will get Pogba as well. Fingers crossed. If we don't, I won't be surprised. But we can. If we give in to their demands, we can get Pogba as well. So yes, do I expect more signings? 1, if not 2.
Question number 4. Now, Palace have got a Chelsea player on loan at the moment, Patrick Bamford. He won Championship Player of the Season last year for Middlesbrough. Now, Palace fans haven't seen a lot of him. What can we expect from him this season?
Patrick Bamford is someone who I hope develops really, really well at Crystal Palace. I think they're the ideal team for him to be at the moment, for him to, in terms of that development. Once he's finished developing, we need him back. Sorry, Palace, but I would totally take Bamford back, because the kid has so much talent. The kid has proven that last year in the Championship. As you said, he got Championship Player of the Season. And he's graced our academy with so many goals and so many moments that I really think he's one for the future. But he's one that I really, really want to make sure gets to the top. So we have to take it slow. And in terms of that, that's why he's on loan to Crystal Palace. We recognise Crystal Palace are top-end Premier League team now. They're no longer fighting for their relegation. They've established themselves in the Premier League. So we've noticed that. In terms of Bamford playing, I hope you guys do get to play him a lot more. You should play him a lot more because he just brings so much to the table. He's young, he's strong, he's dynamic, he's got talent, he knows how to score goals. So I hope you do get to develop him as much as we want you to develop him. That way we can say, thank you very much, Palace. Send him back now, he's ready. But Bamford is definitely one for the future. We have to be slow with him. Slow but sure. We don't want to do what Arsenal have done with their youth and make sure he goes somewhere else. We want to make sure that he comes in slowly but surely and establishes himself into the Chelsea attack. So yes, Bamford, take care of him because we want him back.
And finally from me, Younes, what is your prediction for the game on Saturday between Chelsea and Palace?
My prediction, I'm going with a Chelsea win. Especially now with Pedro in the team, I have to go with a Chelsea win. Again, a tight affair just like last season. We had the title at stake when we played against Palace. And we only won 1-0. And that was a penalty. So, it's going to be a hard game. When Crystal Palace come to any ground, it's always hard. Their fans are very, very vocal. I have to admit, the best in the Premier League. Best fans in terms of singing in the Premier League. They've established that. They even have their own singing section at Selhurst Park. So, credit to you guys at Palace. But I'm seeing a Chelsea win. And we're back in the stride of things now. Or fingers crossed we are. So, I'm going to go with Chelsea 3, Palace 1. I do believe Palace might nick one. They have the talent. They have the, we're not going to be so defensive. That's established. So Palace will get chances on goal on Saturday. But I think we're going to score. And Pedro in the team now makes sure that we score goals. So I'm going Chelsea 3, Palace 1. But I have to say, Palace, I hope you guys really do well. I hope you guys do end up on the top end of the table. I'm hopefully looking 8th, 9th for Crystal Palace. Hopefully more. Pardew is your Mourinho, as far as I'm concerned. Pardew is the man for Palace. So good luck to you guys at Palace, and I hope you guys do well.
Thanks, Younes. We really appreciate that. That's Younes from 100% Chelsea. Their link will be in the description below this video. Thank you very much for watching. Comment below with your prediction for Chelsea versus Palace. Can Palace sneak a result at Stamford Bridge? Like this video if you've enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe for lots of future videos here from PalaceFanTV. And we'll see you again soon. Cheers.